What up, Raffalitos? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you my food journey. So I want to introduce you to project number 10, which will be a systematic review of foods in Guyana, the restaurant scene, the street food scene, the home cooking scene, just foods in general. And what I want to do is to bring Guyanese cuisine into the spotlight and into its rightful place in the international food services or food universe. So stay tuned.
Oh, this is my day. I'm ready to take it on, come what may.
So guys, let me start by sharing with you my food journey, right? I grew up on a farm in Berbice. We had a poultry farm when I was a kid, and so we always had chicken in our household. We also had a livestock farm, so we had cows and sheep and goats at one time. And we also had an agricultural farm. That means we had, in Blackbush Polder, we had peas and beans, we had black eye and pigeon peas and peppers and, garden vegetables. So this is how I grew up eating when I was a kid. But I moved to the US when I was 25. And when I left Guyana, I was about 165 pounds, maybe 160 pounds, because all through high school, I was a skinny kid, right? Now I'm back to my high school weight. But I was a skinny kid in high school, and then I moved to the US, and guess what? I discovered that big was valued. I remember watching the Real World in the 1990s, 1995 to 99, and there was this kid on Real World Boston, who said that a guy, in order to be attractive, a guy had to be 190 pounds. And I took that to heart. So I started using protein shakes, and I started eating a lot of fast food, overeating generally, and working out in the gym in order to get big. And so by 2002, 2003, I was huge. I was about 205 pounds. And then I realized, by 2005, this is not me. That is not who I am, right? So eating the way Americans eat is not what I'm about. And so this is what I want to explain about my food journey and about how I want to review foods. So back in, the 80s when I grew up, or late 70s, what we did is we supplied restaurants with chicken, with fresh poultry. And so my job was at that time to deliver poultry to these restaurants in 50-pound and 100-pound quantities. And I would go to these Chinese restaurants in Rose Hall and New Amsterdam, places like Liao's. I don't know if Liao's still exists in Rose Hall, but we supplied them with chicken. And we'd also sell chicken at the markets, right? So Rose Hall markets and Port-Ront market and Kilcoy market. I would be there on weekends, on Saturdays, selling chickens, live chickens and plucked chickens and so on. So that is my background, that is my history with food. And so what I want to bring to food in Guyana is I want to be able to put food on the map. I want to be able to put Guyanese food on the map. Now some of you might have seen the recent food program by Marcus Samuelsson, that famous Swedish, Ethiopian, New York restaurateur who has this restaurant in Harlem. And so he interviewed a Guyanese community in Queens about Guyanese food. And so he showed Sibyl's and he showed the community in Liberty Avenue, right, in Richmond Hill and so on. So you could get the impression that that is representative of Guyanese food. But for those of us who are from Guyana, we saw that show, Marcus Samuelsson at Sibyl's. I'll put a link to the video here so you can look at it for yourself. Those of us who know Guyanese food know that this is not really representative of Guyanese cuisine. That is, of course, Indian Guyanese, but there is a lot more to Guyanese food than Indian Guyanese cuisine. And so what I want to do is to highlight all of the kaleidoscope of Guyanese cuisine. and all of its roots in Africa and in Asia and in India and so on, and how it combines to form a unique Guyanese culinary palette, right? Including the Amerindian contribution, our famous pepper pot can stand shoulder to shoulder with any one of the braised pork or beef dishes from Italy or from France or anywhere around the world, right? So guys, this is how I want to do my food reviews, right? I want to review Guyanese food in 4 categories, right? So I want to review food differently from the way it's being done right now on YouTube and by so many famous chefs and food reviewers. People like Mark Wiens, for example, would go around Asia, travel around the world, says he travels for food, but he never really tells you about the quality of the food he eats. So when I moved from New York to Singapore, one of the things that really struck me was how different the quality of the food is. I could not, for example, go to a restaurant and expect to have the same quality beef or pork or chicken that I would get in a restaurant in the US, right? You know, we take it for granted that you go to Burger King or McDonald's or any one of the fast food joints in the US and you get top quality beef and meats. But if you go to a food outlet in Singapore, say a hawker center, the quality of the food you get could range from inedible to really good. And there's really no way to know what quality food you'd get. So I sat down, for example, one lunchtime to a meal from a Chinese restaurant. This was a Chinese broth with bones. And I couldn't eat it because the broth was like dishwater. It was gray, like dirty, soapy water, and didn't taste very much better than that. And the bones were scraps that we would discard. We would not even cook them. So it was really, really awful. And I left it. But the thing about it is that Mark Wiens describes the experience, but he never really references or refers to or reviews the quality of the food, the quality of the meats, the quality of the vegetables, the quality of the food. And so what I want to do for reviews in Guyana is I want to save you the bad experience of eating bad food, right? So I will review nutrition, I will review quality, I will review experience and price. So I will rate foods on a scale of say 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 based on nutrition, quality, experience, and price. Nutrition, because my background is in physiology and I learned the science of how the body works, you know, the digestive system, and how our body's immune system works, and how food supplies the energy needs for the body. I am really expert at that knowledge, and that is one of the reasons why nutrition is so important to me. We'll get back to that in detail on my Medical Biosciences channel. But nutrition is important, so I want to review food in terms of its nutritive value. I also want to review foods in terms of the quality of food. You know, the actual quality of the meat and the quality of the vegetables and the quality of the breads and pastas that you eat. And the experience and the price, so that you can rate a food good for a given price. But say a $100 meal would be expected to have a much higher quality than food that you can buy for say $5. So that is my approach to food reviews. Now tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Tell me what you think about food reviews that assess experience and quality and price and nutrition versus what else is out there, food reviews that are out there on YouTube. And remember, you can support this channel on Patreon and on PayPal, and you can buy products now online to support this channel. And share this video with friends and family around the world. And later!